worked together right before he was going into the draft. Got some work in, got to work at it in San Diego. Yep, in San Diego where I was training. So that's how we grew this relationship. And I knew then, just from watching him work and his personality, I said the league is going to love this guy. And my question is, where does all...
Yo, Raider Nation, it's time to fire up that silver and black passion. We're diving headfirst into the biggest Las Vegas Raiders drama, shaking the NFL right now. Christian Wilkins is out, and the story behind it is wilder than a last-second touchdown drive. From a heated dispute over a foot injury to whispers of a locker room incident, this news has the fan base buzzing with questions. Are the Raiders cleaning house or tripping over their own feet again? Let's unpack this roller coaster and get to the heart of the Las Vegas Raiders news. Here's the deal. Just a year ago, the Raiders signed Wilkins to a massive 4-year, $110 million contract, expecting him to be the anchor of our defensive line alongside Max Crosby. But after playing only 5 games last season, Wilkins was sidelined by a Jones fracture in his left foot, requiring surgery. Fast forward to 2025 training camp, and the Raiders shocked the NFL world by releasing him, voiding $35.2 million in guaranteed money. The official word? A mix of a disagreement over a second foot surgery and an HR complaint that's got everyone raising eyebrows. Let's dig into the timeline, because this one's a doozy. Raider Nation. Reports from ESPN and NFL.com confirm Wilkins' release stems from his refusal to undergo a second surgery on his foot, which the Raiders' medical staff pushed for during the offseason. Wilkins, backed by a second medical opinion, opted for rehab instead, believing he could return to form without another procedure. This clash reportedly frustrated the front office, but there's more. Enter the HR complaint. Allegedly, Wilkins kissed a teammate on the top of his head in a playful locker room moment, and the teammate wasn't having it, filing a formal complaint. The Raiders pointed to this incident as part of their decision, but is it the full story? What do you think, Raider Nation? Sound off in the comments. Now, here's where it gets spicy. Former NFL star Marcellus Wiley, on his podcast, called this whole thing a potential cover-up, suggesting the Raiders used the HR complaint to dodge paying Wilkins guaranteed cash. There's more to this than meets the eye, Wiley said, pointing to a media feud between insiders Adam Schefter and Mike Florio over the kissing incident's legitimacy. While Wiley's take adds fuel to the fire, let's be clear, no hard evidence supports the cover-up claim. It's juicy speculation, but as fans, we need the facts. So what's your take? Is this a smart business move or a classic Raiders fumble? Hit that like button and let's keep this convo rolling. The HR complaint has everyone talking, but let's zoom in on that locker room incident. According to Schefter on the Pat McAfee show, sources inside the Raiders locker room described Wilkins' action as a playful gesture gone wrong. Look, Raider Nation, we get it. Locker rooms are intense, and what's meant as a joke can land differently. The teammate felt uncomfortable, and that's valid. Consent matters, even in the heat of team camaraderie. But cutting a star player over this? It's got analysts like Chris Sims scratching their heads. On his show, Unbuttoned, Sims called it really odd, noting he's never seen a player cut for something like this, especially under a defensive-minded coach like Pete Carroll. What's your gut telling you? Drop your thoughts below. Sims didn't stop there. He doubled down on the foot injury angle. He argued Wilkins had every right to seek a second opinion and skip surgery, saying, that's his call as a player. The Raiders' decision to cut him feels like it's rooted in frustration over that choice, with the HR complaint as a convenient add-on. The financial angle can't be ignored either. By releasing Wilkins for conduct detrimental to the team, the Raiders aim to void $35.2 million in guarantees. But here's the kicker. The NFLPA has filed a grievance, per NFL.com, challenging the Raiders' move. If the grievance holds, Vegas could be on the hook for that money anyway. Raider Nation, are we seeing a pattern here? Let's talk about it in the comments. This saga screams classic Raiders drama, doesn't it? The team struggled to find stability since that Super Bowl run in 2002, and moves like this don't help. Cutting a player of Wilkins' caliber, 76 tackles, 9 sacks in 2023 with the Dolphins, over a medical disagreement and a minor incident feels short-sighted. The Raiders' defense, already thin, now faces a huge gap without him. Pro Football Focus ranked Wilkins among the top 10 defensive tackles last year, and losing that talent stinks. Plus, what message does this send to free agents? If Vegas can cut a star to save cash, who's safe? Let's hear your predictions. How's this going to impact our season? The fallout doesn't end there. The NFLPA's grievance could drag this into a legal battle, potentially forcing the Raiders to pay up or settle. Meanwhile, fans on X are split. Some back the team's tough stance, while others call it a PR disaster. One X post summed it up: Raiders gonna Raider. Why can't we keep our best players? It's a fair question, Raider Nation. With Davante Adams trade rumors still swirling and a tough AFC West ahead, this move could haunt us. So what's next for our silver and black? Will we rally, or is this another step back? Smash that like button, drop your hot takes, and let's keep the Raider Nation vibe strong. Now let's talk big picture. How does this fit into the Raiders' 2025 plans? Coach Antonio Pierce has preached discipline and culture, but is this the way to build it? Cutting Wilkins might signal a hard reset, especially with Pete Carroll's influence as a defensive consultant. Carroll's known for fostering team unity, so the HR complaint angle feels out of character. Maybe the Raiders are prioritizing locker room harmony, but at what cost? Losing a player who could have been a game-changer opposite Crosby hurts, especially with matchups against Mahomes and Herbert looming. What do you think Pierce's next move should be? Share your thoughts below. The financial side of this is a gut punch. Wilkins' contract was a bet on his elite play. His 2023 stats with Miami, 65 pressures per PFF, proved he's a disruptor. Voiding his guarantees saves the Raiders millions. But if the NFLPA wins the grievance, that plan backfires. ESPN reports the grievance hearing is set for late August, and the outcome could reshape the team's cap space. Imagine if we'd kept Wilkins healthy and happy. Our D-line could have been a nightmare for opponents. Instead, we're left debating what-ifs. Raider Nation, are you worried about our cap situation? Let's hear it. This whole mess has sparked a firestorm in the media. Wiley's cover-up claim, while unproven, keeps the rumor mill churning. Florio's pushback on Schefter's report suggests the kissing incident might be overblown, but it's still a bad look. The Raiders' front office hasn't commented beyond their initial statement, which leaves us fans filling in the blanks. X posts are buzzing with memes. One even photoshopped Wilkins kissing a football goodbye. But jokes aside, this hurts our depth. With Tyree Wilson still developing, who steps up on the D-line? Drop your picks in the comments. Nation,